Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Hello to those watching this, the Fail Forward attendees. My name is Mobolade Ekudrimi, and I'm super excited today to be presenting to you our business, Aquanova Global Systems, Aquanova. Today I'll be talking about Aquanova and our story and how the business did not live up to the expectations that we wanted as founders of the business. It's important to do this as part of the Fail Forward conference because it's important to shed light on businesses that didn't succeed so that you can learn from those mistakes that those founders made. And so I'll keep it short and sweet. I'll try to keep it really entertaining, and hopefully you will learn something from my presentation. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen, and essentially I'll be talking about Aquanova. So I'm just going to share my screen right now, and let's jump right into it. Okay, so I'll be presenting on this. I'm going to start with a quick intro of myself. I'm a tech guy. I'm an education guy. I live in Toronto, Canada. Tech meaning software development. I'm currently a VP, Assistant Vice President, an IT project manager at Marsh Canada. Marsh is an insurance brokerage. It's the biggest insurance brokerage in the world. I'm also a partner at Top Run Consulting. It's our business. Top Run, we teach really short, immersive courses to help people get into tech jobs. So I teach the project management course at Top Run. We also teach courses like business analysis, IT service management, software testing, agile, etc. And so I'm also, if you're watching this from Nigeria, which is where Fail Forward is happening, I'm very connected in the Nigerian ecosystem. I used to work at Andela as a project manager. I also worked as VP of business development at Venture Garden Group, the EduTech business unit, which partnered with universities to help build online versions of on-campus programs. And so I led the team with the team to do that, and it was very exciting. And so today I'm speaking in the capacity as co-founder at Aquanova Global Systems. And so learning from failure is super key to success. And the Aquanova story is something that I've learned from, and it's helped me succeed in my future businesses. And Winston Churchill says that success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. It's very true. In business, you will hit rock bottom and fail again. But you got to get up and succeed. Like Aaliyah says, if you don't succeed, first you get up and try again. But it's not just try again. It's learn from those mistakes and then try again, right? So really quick about Aquanova Global Systems. Our value proposition is our product, Aqualine, improves yield for crops and livestock. And that's what you really need to remember throughout this. It improves yield for crops and livestock. Here's our product. Here's what it looks like, Aqualine. It works by aligning water molecules for irrigation. The business model is a simple distribution business model, right? It's not a very complex business model. We import into Africa from Canada. We sell, we install the units, we support the clients, and then we renew every year. So it's an annual subscription renewal business. We actively operated from 2014 to 2017. Our leadership team comprised of 3 co-founders, our CEO, our Chief Operations Officer, and myself as Chief Information Officer, CIO. We also had a team of contractors in the business development and operations teams. So to understand the business, you have to understand the product and how it works. Essentially, what it does is that what Aqualine does, it converts raw water to aligned water. What does that mean? If you look at this is an image of water in an animal's cells through an electron microscope. And you see that this image shows the water molecules are distorted. Now, if you look at water that's gone through our system, through Aqualine, you will notice that the water molecules are aligned. What happens when an animal drinks water? When you drink water, a human being or a crop or an animal, you use your energy to convert that water in its raw, chaotic state into an aligned form. And so what Aqualine does is how it looks when you install it, is when water goes through it, it aligns those water molecules so it comes out aligned. So the animal is now, or the crop is now not using its energy to align that water. It's using its energy for other things like reproduction and growth and fighting diseases, etc. So the benefits are numerous, but essentially this is the science behind how it works. And the benefits are for crops. It increases yield by 30%. It leads to better tasting, higher sugar protein content for crops, and you will then use less amounts of insecticide and fertilizer. And you can see the images here. You'll see that TE on the left is TE Aqualine, the right is control. You see that with Aqualine, the corn is much bigger significantly than the control. And this is the same with other crops, right? Aqualine is bigger than the control. Control is the crops that did not use Aqualine in the growth. And so you can see that with these three different samples. In poultry, similar results. It leads to healthier birds with stronger immunity, increased egg production, and stronger shell eggs. Right. So these are significant benefits for a farmer who needs increase in yield and reduction in mortality rates of his fish or his chickens. Right. And so our target market were livestock farmers and crop farmers. So we started the business. We found the product in Canada. It was recommended by a contact that we really trusted. We connected with the manufacturers. We performed our due diligence. We saw the opportunity was significant, and so we purchased some test units in Nigeria. We ran our tests at home, and we saw really exciting results. And so we negotiated for exclusive distribution rights in Nigeria, and also we worked on the African territory. We had some biz dev in Egypt, etc. And so we invested in the business. We invested we had office space. We leveraged our existing office space for our other business and put Aquanova in there. We had a distribution truck. We did marketing. We invested our capital, our own cash, and our time, right? And so in year one, the initial traction was because it was a new product in an existing market, we had to have credibility. And so what we did was we partnered with the Federal University of Agriculture at Belkuta to run a bunch of validation studies. These studies were PhD studies by PhD students, and it was funded by the World Bank because we had to get that validation for a new product that the science works. And so we sold also to a bunch of anchor farms, a bunch of anchor clients, so such as Chief Farms. So if you ever, show of hands in the audience, if you've ever heard of Chief Farms, or if you ever drank Capri Sun juice, right? So Chief Farms makes that. They're a pretty big farm, and they're one of our anchor clients. So this all sounds good with all this traction, right? Good product, anchor clients, good studies happening. So then what happened, right? Well, we did not attain product market fit, and we could not grow beyond our initial anchor clients. But why, right? Because of the stagnation in our growth, we moved on to other ventures, right? So you have your product, which is Aqualine. We have the market. A fit here is when it all comes together, right? But there was not a good fit. You know, with the business, you want to get the product market fit first, and then you want to transition to growth based on that fit. And then you want to really grow and invest in that business, right? So why did we not grow in our sales? Well, we experienced the Forex hike. If you look at this graph over here, you'll see that in 2015, this is a graph that shows a US dollar to Naira. And so in 2015, the US dollar, 1 USD was 200 Naira. And in when we were running between 2014 and 2017, there was a significant hike here. It shows that it was 350, but truly it was around 500 Naira in the black market, right, for a dollar. And so Aqualine was about $1,650 per unit. So that increased the price to our customers, which we had no control over because we're living in this, we're buying it from Canada at a certain rate, from 330,000 Naira to 825,000 Naira. So 2.5x increase, 2.5 times the price. So because of the price, a lot of customers could not afford the product. We also have some gaps in our product market fit. One is the low farm mechanization. So, I mean, this means that the customers are not mechanized. So in Canada, Aqualine is heavily used. Like you have some of the farms who supply to McDonald's, for example, use Aqualine, right? But this is what we see in Canada, but then you come to Nigeria in terms of the farms and you see that the mechanization is not the same, right? You have farmers who don't have the kind of formal education that they need to use Aqualine because the product is a plug and play. However, within plug and play, it requires certain parameters to be correct, such as the water pressure, such as the cleanness of the water. It has to be clean water. The flow rate of the water, right? These are not super technical, but technical enough that if you don't have any kind of formal education, and you've only learned farming in itself, you may not understand these things, right? So they also have poor chemical treatment methods, the farmers. And what that means is, really, really quick, is the farmers medicate the chickens. And so if you over medicate the chicken and then you use alkaline water, it will make the chemicals in the chicken significantly more potent and potentially even create a chance that you will put your chickens at risk. And so that led to potential issues, right? And so we also noticed that the water quality was not clean. If you use alkaline with poor water, essentially alkaline will increase the potency of the wrong chemicals in the water, right? So these are some gaps in the farms that led to alkaline not being a good fit for the market. And so the last one would just be disbelief, and it's pretty interesting, but a lot of farmers just didn't believe that these yields were real, right? But we've seen these in Canada a lot. The next issue was market segmentation. And so if you look at the pink represents the addressable market size, so the market you can capture. In Nigeria, the big farms are only about 20% from our estimation, right? So you have the big sheep farms, the Basanjo farms, etc. But everyone else is small farms. Versus flip it to North America, it's the opposite, right? In North America, most farms are the big farms, and we have a few small farms. So when you already have the issues as mentioned here, where most of the farmers are like this, and they represent the main population, you only have a small market you can actually address, and that leads to potential, at least to lack of product market fit, and only a small market. If you have a few clients and you want to get this market, it's so tough to travel across Ogun, Benue, the whole country to get these small farms, right? And the other thing was we had the research study I mentioned, right, which was funded by the World Bank. So what happened with that? Well, it was slow. There were strikes with the university, as you could expect. Knowledge gaps. So the professor leading the study traveled on sabbatical, and it didn't transfer knowledge to who was handing over after him and the PhD students. And so we had to start funding this research ourselves, right? We're not supposed to be funded by this nonprofit. So we funded that. It became a drain on our resources. Results are out now, but see, these sorts of things happen when you're doing business in Nigeria. And so, all in all, I've talked about the story of how we started the business and how we had some traction, but how it kind of dropped at a certain point and we chose to move on to other ventures, right? So what can you learn from our story really quick? One is that you can have the best product, but it needs to be tailored to your market, right? If we could go and do it all over again, we would have had our manufacturers create smaller units for smaller farms, right? Because these big farms, a big farm would probably buy one Aquanova unit for $16.50, and they will need 10 or 20 units across the farm. They could do that, but the smaller farms, they'll think about it a lot before they make the first buy. And the sales cycle, you can have a long sales cycle for a product that's only $1,600 or 400,000 naira, right? If you're in the diaspora, if you're in North America, the UK, like I was, and you're trying to go back to Nigeria, to Africa to do business, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. It's going to be a different market, so you need to get educated on the market, as you invest or prior to your investment, actually, right? So you need to really understand the market deeply. It's not going to be one to one. The third lesson is you can learn anything quick, right? So all of our co-founders had no prior experience in agriculture. I did not. I came from an IT background. My partner came from insurance, etc. So my point is you can learn anything really quick if you put your effort and mind to it. So you have to have that mindset going into any business. You face any issues, you got to learn that really quick. And relationships can make or break your success, right? They will make or break your success. Our supplier, T Aqualine, the manufacturers, we have a really good relationship with them. We built that. So the next point is really that relationships don't just become made, right? You have to put the effort. So they gave us these exclusive distribution rights in Nigeria and Africa because we broke into the market, because we communicated effectively with them, and because they trusted us, right? And we did not pay for these exclusive distribution rights. They gave it to us because they trusted us to be the right partners in that market. So that is all from me today. And I hope you've learned something about our story. Thank you very much. And I look forward to your questions. You can reach out to me through email. And thank you.